Hi and hello, I am Athena Pondian here. Welcome to the control system for the biomedical engineers classroom once again. Today we are going to solve some of the problems relating mechanical translational system. Yesterday we are just crossed over some of the simples and the variables, how we can able to use and how we can able to frame a formulas and everything. So using that particular simples, variables and formulas, we are going to solve some of the problems relating mechanical translational system. Come, let me start the class now. Let me solve some of the problems under mechanical translational system. So this is the diagrammatic way of the example number 1. What we can able to find out from this particular diagram is we need to determine the differential equation of the system, differential equation of the whole system, and we need to determine the transfer function of the system. So this is the diagram, this question. What we can able to identify is these two things, that is differential equation and transfer function. So according to the transfer function, we need to find out the Laplace transform of output divided by the Laplace transform of the input. So Laplace transform of output divided by the Laplace transform of input is the transfer function. That is the next question. So where is the output and where is the input calculation? That is very important thing. So we need to calculate this output first of all. Of course, we know that applied force is the input. According to the applied force, the final displacement attained by the mass, that is nothing but the output of the system. So we are applying force here. Then this particular force is going to mass m2 and then it is going to the mass m1. Because of that particular thing, this attained the displacement x1. Then because of the spring is attached here, because of the spring is attached to the wall, if you are applying a force here, then the force is moving towards it and it reach wall. Again, this particular wall is giving some of the opposing force, right? So it attained the displacement once the force is coming from m2 to m1, it attained the displacement x1. Once this particular k1 receives the opposing force, then this particular k1 is giving some of the opposing force. That particular force gives some of the displacement. So because of the input force, we are receiving the final displacement x1 here. Because of the spring, this also giving some of the opposing force. That opposing force will be transferred to m1 and that opposing force will reach to m2. That is the final displacement x. So the final displacement, very important, no need to think that this particular x1 is the final displacement. So the final displacement attained is x. Because of the applied force, the force is transferred here, and again this particular spring opposing the force, all the thing, apart from all the things, that force is also calculated. Then the final displacement attained by this x. So the output is nothing but x of s and the input is nothing but f of s, that is applied force. X of s, f of s is nothing but we need to find out the Laplace transform. If I find out the Laplace transform of f of t is converted to f of s and find out the Laplace transform of x of t is converted into x of s. So we are in the situation to calculate x of s and f of s. So here, of course, you all know that what are all the variables present in it. Of course, B determine the dashpot, K determine the spring, M determine the mass. Of course, we all know that. Here, x1 is nothing but the displacement of mass m1. Please remember. Here we have another displacement x. This x having the displacement of mass m2. Please remember. Applied force is present in the mass m2. Please remember. So all the things are given. So what we are going to discuss, how we can able to frame the transfer function of the system is, first of all, we can able to split the particular blocks into two. That is mass m1 and mass m2. Want to draw the freehand sketching of mass m1. In that freehand sketching, we need to determine how many opposing force and applied force acting on the mass m1. Okay, and then we are just go for the freehand sketching of the mass M2 and how many opposing force and applied force applied on this particular mass M2 we need to determine. Okay, so first step is you need to frame the free body diagram of mass M1. So mass M1 separately you need to note. What is the things you need to do is how many opposing force and applied force acting on the mass M1 we need to determine. Here, of course, we know that the mass M1 itself having some of the opposing force. In the static itself, we know that. Okay, so opposing force can be determined by Fm1. Please remember. Then, the K having some of the opposing force of mass M1. Okay, then Fk1. Please remember. The things that is attached to the mass M1. Then this particular B1, even though it is not attached to the M1, this particular notation shows that it is having, there is a frictional force happen in this particular M1 and this wall. So we need to determine this also. So B1 is the frictional force and X1 is the displacement of this. So we need to determine the opposing force of B1. So opposing force of B1 is nothing but FB1. Please remember. Okay, then apart from this B1, this B is also attached to M1. So opposing force of dashpot FB. And then this K is also attached to M1. So K, Fk. So that's all. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 5 forces attached. Here B2 having the frictional force in the M2 block. Okay, here in the direction here. Here in the M1 block. Please remember. So all are having the displacement X1. Please remember this. So this is the free body sketching. What we are going to do is, everything we have the formula in the previous class we discussed it. So Fmn, that is Fm1, what is the formula? That is force balance equation M1 into d square x divided by dt square. This is the formula actually, but here x, the displacement here is x1. So we need to put x1 here. Hope you understand. Then come to the Fk. Fk1. Here we know that in the formula this particular spring is determined with the K of the displacement. That is Kx is the formula actually. But here the displacement is x1. So we need to put x1 here. Okay, then this is this. Then what we are going to do is the next part Fb1. Please remember all this thing. Fb1. So here this particular Fb1, here it is the display, here is the frictional force, it attains the displacement x1. So we know that capital B into dx by dt. But here the displacement is indicated at x1, so need to put x1 here. Okay, then next part is Fb. Remember, please remember, this is most important. Fb is equal to, this is the point you need to know. Here all the things K1, B1, M1 all having the displacement x1. Okay, but this B is attached to M1 and also M2. So it having the displacement in both the side. X1 is also a displacement of B, X is X1, X2 is also a displacement, that is X is also a displacement of B. So what we are going to do is, we are not going to calculate only the opposing force of the M1. During the M1, during the opposing force of the M1, what is the displacement of B only we need to calculate. So what we are going to do is, we need to subtract this X from the X1. So of course we know that d by dt into, we are going to calculate only the displacement of this. So x1 minus x. x1 minus x. We need to calculate only the displacement of this. So that is what we are subtracting this x1 minus x. Okay, hope you understand. Then the last thing here is k. K is also having the same problem. It having the displacement in both the sides. So Fk is equal to k into x1 minus x. So please remember, if you are writing this particular given data, then it is very comfortable for you to solve the problem. Okay, so Fm1, all the things you need to, you have the formula, you know that. In the previous video itself, we saw the formulas of each and everything, what is Fm, what is Fk and what is Fb, everything. Once we frame the free body diagram of the mass M1, then it is very comfortable for you to note. The only thing you need to remember is, if the particular elements is attached to the both the system, then we are going to subtract the displacement of that particular thing. Okay. Framing all this thing, what is the next step is, we need to give the force balance equation. How we can able to give the force balance equation? According to the Newton's second law of motion. So according to the Newton's second law of motion, we know that all the applied force and the opposing force is equal to 0. Here in the M1 there is no applied force. So only all the opposing force is equal to 0. So all the opposing force is nothing but Fm1 plus Fk1 plus Fb1 plus Fb plus Fk. So you are not supposed to miss any variable. If you are missing any variable, then the answer is having some of the fluctuations. Okay. So please remember all this thing. So we need to substitute all the things here. What is the value of M1? What is the value of Fk1? What is the value of Fb1? Bk. All the things you do substitute and is equal to equating that things equal to 0. Come. What is the next step we need to do is, we need to find out the Laplace transform of all these things. That is equation number 1. Let me give the equation number as 1 here. So we need to find out the Laplace transform of this equation. Okay, this is the differential equation, please remember. This is the differential equation of mass M1. Please remember, if the question is asking find out the differential equation, no need to find out the transfer function. If in case they ask like that, then you just hold on this itself. Okay, because of course we have the two question, find out the differential equation and the transfer function. So this is the result number 1. That is, differential equation of mass M1 is this. So we need to find out the transfer function also. So for finding out the transfer function, we need to find out the Laplace transform of this equation, differential equation. Okay. So we are in the situation to find out the Laplace transform of every element. So if you want to determine the Laplace transform here, we already know that how we can able to conversion. So M1 into S square into X1 of S. In the static itself, I already told you. Then we can able to convert this K into K1 into X1 of S. That is, in the mass double derivative, we put S square here. Apart from that, X of t is converted into X of S. Okay, then this displacement X. Then plus B into B1 into S into X1 of S, because single derivative is X1 of S. Then this thing is over. Then this thing, it having the two displacement. Please remember, B into dx1 by dt is one displacement. Then minus dx divided by dt, another displacement. So plus B into S into, because single derivative we need to put X into X1 of S. Then of course we have minus sign. Most important thing, don't forget the minus sign here, because inside that it is minus X. So B into S into X of S. The suffix 1 is very important, because that is the variation we need to give, X and X1 of S. Then the next thing as like a same thing. So X of S, that is X1 of S minus K into X of S is equal to 0. So this is considered as the equation number 2. Please remember. So this is considered as the equation number 2. Then what we are going to do is, here we are converting all the thing into the Laplace transform. It is over. Convert the differential equation into the Laplace transform format. So what we are going to do is, because we are in the situation to find out output or input in any of the mass. In the mass M1, we don't have any input because we don't have any applied force. So try to find out the output variable individually. So X1 of S we need to determine. Here, for that what we are going to do is simplification. The small simplification, that is nothing but, here M1 S square and X1 of S, all the things, elements have X of S and X1 of S. Just take a X1 of S as common. x1 of s. If in case if you are taking x1 of s common, here m1 s square, this part, and this part is plus k1, and this part is b1 s plus b1 s, and from this part that is bs, and here there is no x1, that is x. Okay, then leave it. Then here this particular part k, and this particular part is x of s, leave it. Then apart from this x1 of s, x of s is also common in the two things, so we need to take x of s is common here, plus x of s. If you just take x of s is common here, then the two elements are under the x of s, that is b and k, so we need to take bs plus k is equal to 0. So please remember, what I did is, we are in the situation to calculate the transfer function. Okay, so for the transfer function we need to find the Laplace transform of output divided by the Laplace transform of input. In the mass m1 we are not supposed to find out the input, because this particular mass does not have any input force, that is applied force straight away. So here the output is attained, so try to calculate the output variable of this m1. So that is what I just simplified this particular equation to this. So just take x1 of s as common and x of s as common, we find out these two variables. Then what we are going to do is, keep this x1 of s in the left side and move all the things in the right side. Then keep this x1 of s here. Then what is the thing you need to do is, here minus x of s into bs plus k. Move the thing into the that side. So here minus, it turn into the, go to the right side, it's converted into the plus. So x of s into bs plus k. Then if this particular element is moved to the right side, then this is the equation bending. So you need to give this particular equation into the denominator of this particular equation. Then this x of s divided by this equation, that is m1 s square plus k1 plus b1s plus bs plus k. So this is the equation we got. Please remember, I repeat, please understand, x1 of s is common, x of s is common. We need to hold this particular x1 of s in the left side. What is the need of holding this x1 of s in the left side? Because we are in the situation to find out the transfer function. From the mass m1 we need to find out the output of the response. So that is what I keep the x1 of s in the left side and all the other things into the right hand side. So we calculated this particular x1 of s successfully from mass m1. The sum is not finished. Okay, so we are supposed to calculate the free body sketching, that is opposing force and applied force of mass m2. So as like as the previous m1, we need to find out the free body sketching of mass m2. Here applied force is there, so applied force indication, that is f of t here. Then how many opposing force applied on the m2? Here the mass m2 itself having opposing force, that is f m2. What is the need of the indication of arrow mark in the different sides? It indicating the applied force, this arrow mark indicating the opposing force. That is why I am putting the arrow mark towards the m1 and opposing the m1. And then fk is another opposing force here, and this fb2, is another set, and then this fb. Okay, so here we have this particular opposing force and applied force. So what is the next step? We need to find out the formula of each and everything. Now we can able to frame the equation. So each and every opposing force and applied force, we have the formula. So according to that we need to note. So fm2. Of course we know that the displacement attained by the m2 is x, not x1. Please remember. So the formula should be m2 into dx divided by dt. T square x divided by dt square. Please remember. Okay. Then this particular, then the next opposing force is k. The k, remember, this having the displacement x1 and also x. Now we can able to calculate only the displacement of x. So we need to subtract x from the x1. In the previous m1, what we did is x1 minus x. But here we need to do is x minus x1. Okay, so then fk is equal to k into x minus x1. Please remember, x minus x1, k. This is k. Okay, then the next opposing force is Fb2. Fb2, we don't have any problem, only one displacement. Then Fb2 is equal to b2 into dx divided by dt, single derivative. Okay. So the next opposing force is Fb. So Fb we need to calculate it having the displacement, two displacement as like as k, because x1 is the displacement, x is the displacement, but we need to calculate only the displacement opposing of m1. So m2, sorry. So we need to calculate only x. So subtract x from the x1. So b into d by dt of x minus x1. We need to calculate only the displacement of xo. We are subtracting x1 here. So this is the calculation you need to remember. So once we frame all these things, that is find out all these particular fm2, fmk, fk, fb2, all the things. What is the next step is we need to apply the Newton's second law of equation. So according to the Newton's second law of motion, all the applied force is equal to the opposing force. So here the applied force is f of t. So f of t is equal to, that is applied force is equal to sum of all the opposing force, that is fm2 plus fk plus fb2, here fb2, then f plus fb. That's all I think so. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, that's it. Okay, then consider this as equation number 3. Okay, then substitute all the things, that is what is the value of fm2, fk, fb2, fb and everything, and find out the Laplace transform of all the things. Then we find out the output of the response. Okay, then now substitute all these formulas into this equation number 3. According to the Newton's second law of motion, all the applied force is equal to the opposing force. Here we have only applied force. Then opposing force are 4 opposing force are there in the M2. So I substituted all the opposing force formula here. Then what is the next step? I hope you remember. That is, we are supposed to find out the Laplace transform of this. So here what is that? This is the differential equation of mass M2. If they are asking only differential equation, then hold like this. Okay, find out the differential equation of M1 and M2 if they ask like that. Then hold this, no need to find out the Laplace transform and everything. But here in our question, we need to find out the differential equation and also the transfer function. So that is what we are just substitute this particular thing and find out the transfer function. So we need to find out the transfer function. We need to convert this differential equation into the Laplace transform format. Okay, so find out the Laplace transform of equation number 4. Then what is the conversion made as? That is f of s is equal to this particular equation. We know that is m2 into s square into x of s. This thing over. Then the next thing, that is b2 into s into x of s. Please remember, this thing goes over. Then come to this one. We are having two displacement. So two thing you need to calculate. So here need to put a plus. Then plus one thing is x. So b into x of s. So next to the b of s, we have minus sign here in the indication. So minus bs into here x1 of s. Then here the next is also having two displacement. So plus k of s is 1 and plus k x of s is 1 minus k x1 of s is 1. So we are equating. No need to put equal to 0 because we are having the output here. So f of s is, I just convert all the things into the equation number 4 into the Laplace transform. So this is the equation we got from the mass m1 and the mass m2. So this is the equation we got as a result of mass m1. Okay, after the result of mass m1, we find out the Laplace transform, and after the simplification, we got this. Where did we know? Then from the mass m2, we got the equation like this. This is the equation how we can able to convert this. I already told you, after the simplification you just take x of s and x1 of s is common, then we find out this equation. So why not we substituting the x1 of s of the second equation, that is f of s equation, from this particular equation. Whole term is considered as x1 of s. So instead of x1 of s, substituting a whole thing into here. This is the final equation you got. Once you substitute the value of x of s and f of s here, so we got the final equation as like this. Okay, so this is the transfer function. This is output, this is input, that is Laplace transform of output divided by the Laplace transform of input. This is the final response we got. So this is the way you need to approach every subset. So that's all about the today's class, and this is the model of mechanical translation and system sum. So in the classroom I just share some of the other examples also. You just go through it. So do you have any clarifications or any doubts during the classroom itself? You just please ask me. I will rectify your clarification. So we need the next class in the next sum. Thank you.